I saw a little gnome made from a shower hanger on Facebook, and I thought that we would try it. Now, I could not find one of the shower caddies from the Dollar Tree. If you can find one, great. That's what you want to use. But I'm going to try to make do with this one right here that I found for about 10 bucks at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, whatever store that you have near you, you might be able to find one. We're going to see if this one works out as well. It may not. And we're going to talk about a couple of differences between mine and hers because I couldn't find the hats that she used and that kind of thing. And I couldn't even find them online. So I don't really know. So you're going to need a shower caddy. She said 2 of these. Now, I bought 4 because mine was a little bit bigger, I believe, than the one that she had. I may not use them all. We'll see. And then I couldn't find the hats, but I did find this little tree skirt. So I'm going to try to use it instead of the hats. But if you can find like the sweater-like Santa hats, that's what she used because it's stretchy and it will give, and it's got to come down over this top. So I'm going to try to use that. And then you're going to need a ping pong ball, and I am just going to come in on this side of it here. That way my the seam won't be showing in the front. And I'm going to mix up a few colors of paint. I'm just going to set this to the side. I will be speeding through a great portion of this, but you won't miss how anything is done. I promise you I will slow down for parts that you need to be aware of. So I am just going to mix up some colors of paint. So we're going to bring our caddy back in. And I am probably just going to turn the camera off after I get this one started. There's no need to even speed through this. You're just going to pull out from these Dollar Tree mop heads your strands, okay? And then you're going to loop them, and you're going to start, and you're going to pull these through. And I am doing that backwards. I probably want to go to the inside. Yeah, go from the inside. And if you feel that each one of these spaces, I did that one backwards still. Each one of these spaces, you might want to do 2 on there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 in each one. And fill this up. Then you're going to go to this and do this one. I'm going to do this one too here, and I haven't decided on that one yet. So I'm going to go and put all of these on. Okay, so it's taking me maybe about 5 to 8 minutes to do this bottom part right here. I have that part of the dish done, and I've just gone around and stopped right there. Don't need to go all the way to the back. And now I am working on the second tier. And just so you guys know, this is going to be Cricut related. It's a little bit of mixed media because we're going to be doing iron-on our hat portion. So it's going to be super cute, and I think you're going to love it. Okay, guys, I'm noticing because mine was not a white shower caddy like she had because they didn't have one. All I'm doing is in the spaces where these are, I'm just adding a 3rd one if it shows, just to tighten that in more. I have not done it to all of them, but a couple of them I did. I just added a 3rd one in there just to give it a little more coverage. Super simple and super easy. So far I've been at this about 15 minutes, and I'm almost done with the second tier. To this point, it has taken 1 mop head. Again, it's going to depend on the size of your shower caddy. Right here where that's showing, I'm just going to pop in a 3rd one, and that's going to take care of that. or you can, if you want to use less of these. I think it's just going to make it fuller and make it better. And it looks like it is going to cover these down here. So I'm liking it pretty good. I think it's going to be a cute gnome. So now I'm going to start on the second tier. I am going to do around this as many as I can get on it. Again, I bought 4 of the mop heads just in case, and I may or may not use them all. So super easy and simple. You're just pulling them out of that cap. I tried to unscrew it, but it doesn't unscrew. So you're just going to start with a couple and pull them out, and then you can pull out bunches at a time once you get the first few out. That takes just seconds to get them all out of there. So super easy on that. I'm just gonna, well, it's stuck in there. There we go. It got stuck. We're gonna throw that away. All right, so let's continue on. Okay guys, so I used maybe another 15 strands out of the other one. It took me about 45 minutes to cover it. Okay, so while my iron-on is cutting, I cut this really big because it's the first time I've done this, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. So I cut it 36 by 24 tall, 36 wide. And I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here where, trying to fold that up because I want space there. So I know about where I want, because I wanted a roll at the base. That's why I cut it so tall. And then I'm going to tie this at the top after I put it on. And you can see that it's not going to go straight up and down. You could probably work with it and get it that way, but I want a little bit of skew to it if I can get it. It'll probably go on straight if I don't want it to. If I want it to go straight, you know, it's Murphy's Law. So I've got that rolled, so I know basically where my center is. And I don't have my clips here. I'm going to use, let me grab a couple of straight pins tomorrow. Well, I can see. Let's see. I know. Just going to mark by folding where my top is, because I want to know where I'm going to put my iron on, but I don't want to get it on there in an incorrect position. So that should be enough to go to the back. So let's see. I'm going to go here. This is where I'm going to place my iron-ons, right here. And I've got my little cuff in there. Get a little that bright in there to break that up. Let's see. So I have my scraps, and I just cut everything from scraps. There's my berries, and my holly, and my happy holidays. And I'm going to be using my mini press to put this on with. And so I'm going to weed this. If you've never weeded before, you're just going to remove the parts that you don't want to keep. So I'm just going to come in here, get that going. And there are my berries. And then here are my weeds. Save those scraps because you can see it doesn't take a whole lot to get something like this out of your scraps. And there's my leaves. And then there's, you want to be careful when you're doing this and not clip your image. Make sure you can see it. Okay, so our glue gun is heating up. I'm using my Cricut glue gun and my Cricut glue sticks. I don't know how many this will take, but we have glue sticks. I just had one out. There it is. So what I'm going to do, I forgot to tell you guys, I started this at about 11 inches in. You can start it in a little further if you want to. But what I'm going to do is kind of try to roll this and get it even all the way down while that's heating up. There's a method to my madness, I promise. So we're just going to get that rolled. And we're just going to tack it. Once our glue gets hot, we're going to go down through there with our glue gun and tack this just a little bit. Okay, I have, let's see, I have just a little bit of the bright check peeking out here because I didn't like it making a big block there. But it's going to be broken up, so it doesn't matter because I got some of this big chunky chenille chunky yarn that we're going to use also. I think. I don't know yet. We're going to see. Okay, it's not quite green yet, but it is starting to come out. And I'm just going through here and tacking it at about every 2 squares or every 3 or 4 inches. We're just going to tack that down. And I'm also just going to kind of close up this end so it doesn't try to unroll on me. Super, super easy. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's bring our little gnome caddy over. And I'm going to want that, of course, at the top. So I'm just going to place that over. And we're going to start by putting some glue right there on our mop strands and tacking this hat down. Just grab another glue stick here. I'm not putting my nose on yet until I get this part done, but our nose is going to go right there. How stinking cute is that going to be? All right, so now I'm just going to flip it over. We're going to work this way. Make sure all your strands are pulled down. You don't want, I'm putting them up on the knots. The glue is going up on all of those knots. Just going to, that's stuck. We're going to flip it over. And again, I said this may be a little large. I just wanted to make sure that I had plenty of fabric. And again, we're just going to go right on top of all of those strands. Give that a second to set. And you can go through and undo all of these strands if you want. I'm not going to do that to mine. I did it to one just so you can see. If you want to make it really full, you can go through and do that. All right, so now I'm just going to flip this over to the back. Oh yeah. So I'm going to trim off down through there. And I'll probably speed through this. I'm just going to trim this off to where it meets about halfway through this one. Through this square here, all the way up. So I cut it maybe, this one you could probably do at 33 inches. I did not stretch it. I just glued it down. So there we go. And now I'm just going to bring this around and we're going to glue these two together. You can get your hand in the back there and do that. I'm just going to close this seam. Of course, we'll pick all our glue hairs off if you have any. All right, and now the back, I'm just going to pull all of this up to the top. And I'm just going to, I should have folded that in too, but that's okay. Just going to kind of fold that in a little bit just to get it started so it looks finished. But you're not going to see the back anyway. It's going to be on your door. Unless you have a glass door, then you'll want to make sure that you roll that under. Just leave it there. And we're going to bring all of this up. And yeah, I can trim off a good bit there. I want to leave that out so I have a place to hang it. So I'm not going to cut that off yet. Just going to bring it in. I'll probably close up some more of that back here in just a minute. All right, so I want to gather that up right there. And I have some red elastic from the Dollar Tree. And of course I didn't get the end. There we go. I'm just going to cut off a piece here. You can use whatever you have, ribbon, whatever. You know, I want all of that to the back so that my I'm just going to pull that good and tight. Really good and tight. Okay, that's a little too tight, I think. It's not coming apart, but I'm going to tie it again just in case. space in the elastic there. It's from Dollar Tree. What do you expect? Right? Let's see. Snip off another piece. Just in case that decides to come loose later. Trim it off so it gets tucked in there. And now I'm going to trim off the excess here, so you could probably cut that. Let me cut it and then we'll determine. I'm going to shred that, I think. All right, I cut off. So you could probably do that at 18 inches, guys. I cut off about 6 inches. Now I can do this a couple of ways. We can shred it for tassels, or we can add a snowball onto it. I think I'm gonna flip it around here, and I'm gonna speed through this part, guys. I'm just gonna make fringe, okay? I'm just gonna be splitting this into little shreds, that's all, and just kind of pulling on them. And when you do your fleece, when you pull on it, it'll stretch out a bit and give you some stuff. So I'm gonna shred that, and then we'll be back. Okay, guys, I just put some glue on the back of my ping pong ball and stuck it there. I closed up the back of mine after I got it adjusted exactly where I wanted it, leaving an opening for me to be able to hang this on my wreath hanger. And I pulled some of this excess fabric together and glued it down so that it wouldn't be flopping. And I'm going to adjust this and straighten him out on the door, take some photos for you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Happy crafting!